senior brother, Lieutenant General Joseph Musanyufu, representing the Minister of Internal Affairs, Your Excellency, the German Ambassador, Your Excellencies, heads of institutions present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, before I embark on this is my first time to ever address such an important gathering. The quality in here is very touching. And I am good at addressing very powerful functions. But this is touching. I am so glad to be here with my senior brother, who is also my classmate. The time cannot be the best when you have General Tafiri and Lieutenant General Musanyufu. People matter. People matter. You can judge me after I have left. I am so honored today to be here with you. You did ask me to give a keynote address, and I will go to make sure that I did the right thing. I will go to this program here, Harnessing Civil Society Potential for Inclusive Development, Alignment Strategies with Uganda's National Development Plan 4. But I have chosen to tweak that topic a little bit. For me to bring out the message which is critical. And as I present, you will notice that I'm gravitating towards communicating on your behalf, which is critical. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Development Plan is the plan for the country. And we must all recognize that even when you go to the parish declarations and the most important thing for any country to develop is ownership. The only way we demonstrate ownership in this country is through our plan, the National Development Plan. I want to make it very clear that it is the plan. And deviating from the plan requires parliamentary approval. The plan is approved by Parliament, prepared by the executive, approved by Parliament. It is a parliamentary document. It is a national document. It must, underline, be respected. Second, civil society in this country is not new. And I think we are one of the countries with the highest numbers of civil society in the sub-Saharan Africa. That is very important. It means that entry is not restricted. So is exit, because we are a liberal country. Number three, given this sheer growth of numbers, it is very clear. Oh, my team. Did you distribute the paper? Can you send that paper out? I have prepared a very, I thought, interesting paper. And can we kindly share it by Respect Technology? The minister told us Respect Technology. You can give it to the team, and then they distribute it. There is nothing to hide in this paper. And I'm not going to read the paper. I'm going to talk to the paper. I expect you to read it after. So critically, this sheer growth in numbers, Madam Ayebala, have you given them the soft copy? Hand over the soft copy. We prepared this for this conference, so it should be handed over. So this sheer growth of numbers tells you something, that we are a free country. You come in, you go out. Even our capital account is that free. You bring in resources, you take them out. In fact, now, even when you bring in equity, we don't tax equity. Because of the principle, what you do on the left side, you must do on the right. You want me to bring my money to your country, and I'm bringing it freely. Why are you taxing me when I'm taking it out? That is how liberal we are. Now, today, civil society has a lot of roles. And this is what I want colleagues within government to understand, that civil society helps us with service delivery. We are not competing, we are complementing. Civil society, if you closed civil society today, close to 40% of service delivery and more would collapse. You can take me on that number, and I will give you evidence, sector by sector. Secondly, the issue of accountability and governance. Critical. For any system, for any economic system to survive, governance is the sufficient condition, not the necessary, but the sufficient condition for survival. Number 3, community empowerment. How do you have accountability, have growth without empowering your own people? Number 4, the voice of the marginalized. And I don't think any of those roles contradict the complementability ability of civil service, civil society. But I also wanted in that paper, when you read it, to give you a flavor that this is not new. The work of civil society is underpinned by theory. And you know, recently we were warned by the National Council of Higher Education not to use the titles of doctors, and I will not use it again, because it's not a very good one. But we have to be conceptual. Civil society don't just exist. They exist in theory. And you're going to look at so many theories which I'm bringing to your attention. You may not even have read them, but read them, I've summarized them for you. Number 1, if you're looking at the theory of public goods and externalities, you know that markets, which many of us like, create a lot of externalities. As you are industrializing, you are affecting the environment. Where does civil society come in? To help you clean up that environment. Isn't that theory itself? And when you read, you will see how important this is. Number 2, if you look at the theory of collective action theory and the free rider problem, many human beings are very, very selfish. They like to benefit where they have not invested. Still, we use civil society to correct this problem. Critical. The other theory, when you look at the transaction cost economics and coordination, still brings out civil society critically. And what do they say? Producing alone does not matter. What matters is the cost at which you coordinate, you contract, and enforce. And how do civil society help us here? Civil society reduces costs by standardizing practices, training communities, and mediating disputes. Many of you who have been in countries that are unstable, that is the cost. The cost of coordinating in such a country is unbelievable. So we need to thank God that we are in a country that has been very stable for the last 40 years. It's an opportunity. The other, look at information asymmetries theories. You know, and this is the area where my PhD is anyway. Those who have information are richer. Maximizing information makes me more richer than you. Knowing that land in Ichira costs X and I will sell it the other time makes me more richer. But is information democratic? Civil society is critical here in sending critical information to our people. So for today, you can now see that in all theories, agency theory, who is the principal and who is the agent, many people turn these things around. Who should be the principal and who is the agent of the other? If you look at this country, who is the principal? If I ask this question, everybody will tell me the president. And that would be a wrong answer. The principal are the people of the Republic of Uganda. And the rest of us are their agents. No wonder we go to people's offices and someone says, "Get out of my office." Who told you it is your office? It has never been your office. You are there today, you'll be out of it tomorrow. If we can just change the way we work, and this is why civil society is critical, to try to make the people of Uganda and in the world feel that they are the principals. That is the basis of accountability. So let me ask you a question. Are you in any doubt that you are such a very important part of the development systems of this country and the architecture? I have not received an answer. Are you in any doubt, both in theory, in practice? Are you in any doubt? You are very important. Now, let me take myself, I have also written about what is binding to you, the things you should be able to improve, and I will not waste a lot of my time. Read that section. There are a lot of binding constraints around your operations that need to be improved. But most importantly, as the head of the planning authority, you need to improve your advocacy capacity, evidence. Many a time, I attend meetings and people are presenting subjective policies, not well-founded in evidence. It is going to be critical for us to survive as CSOs, to have evidence-based policy alternatives. That when we present a policy, and you want to help us to be accountable, you should be better or even as good as the evidence that we present. And I want to give you an example of one of the CSOs we work with, CESBAG. The first time we worked with these people, we said, again, they are here. But now, CESBAG implements even on behalf of the Ministry of Finance. They do. Because they have risen the game. When we begin to talk, it is evidence. It is not subjective. It's going to be critical for all of us in this space to arrive at that point. And let me tell you, colleagues, the National Planning Authority is not giving this keynote address because it's the National Planning Authority. It is imperative. It is in law of the Planning Authority. I don't know whether many of you know this, but we have been dodging this. Every time we have been dodging the bullet. Go and read the law, the National Planning Act, as amended. Number 8, the National Planning Authority shall, working with the private sector and civil society, assess the performance of government. It's a requirement. It's part of my job. But it's one job that I have done so badly. In the last 12 years, I've been ED. And it is because I have been dodging it. And I have been dodging it because of some of you. We have to change the way we dialogue. We have to be more evidence-based. And then the planning authority will take the lead in getting all the work that you do and presenting it to the government. Because after all, the planning authority is government. And my brother Kiwanda here knows that I'm one of the people in this government. For as long as I have the evidence, I will present it the way it is. There is no doubt. And many people always think I'll lose a job. My contracts just get renewed even before I ask for them. Before they expire, and I can tell you it's already renewed. Because one, if we are talking about a challenge, we talk about it the way it is. So that is going to be critical. And now, what is going to be very important for us to go forward? I don't want to waste a lot of your time. Number one, from our view, and I am so glad my brother here has done a very good job. I am also so happy that government has been rationalized, because we are beginning to get problems of who is the principal here and who is the agent. Agencies had started behaving as if there were no ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, our ministry that coordinates us is the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The functions that the Bureau perform are functions of the Ministry they are the functions of the minister. The problem was that agencies and their boards had started thinking they are bigger than the minister, principal-agent relation. The minister, in that case, is the principal. The bureaus and all other things, authorities, are agents. They had better know that. And I was at the center of this rationalization, because we want to create a command and control structure that is very clear. Now that has been created. Now we would like you to align. Remember where I started from. We have the National Development Plan. You cannot change it, whether you like it or you don't like it. The only time you can change is it's at midterm. So as CSOs, we now have to start preparing. If there are any issues with this plan, at midtime, we must put them on the table. And then we'll be able to make changes. We request you to align, to make alignment measurable and accountable. Through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, we should operationalize the CSO information and result system that aggregates CSO financing contributions and results into a single system. Ask me a question as a head of planning. Do I know how much money comes into this country through the CSOs? Who is an economist here who knows? Ayebale, you are the modeling people. Macro. Do you know how much comes in? Do you know what it does? Do you? The answer is no. No wonder people think we are not important. Because nobody can exactly touch what we do for this economy, quantify it. My senior brother, the PS, this is going to be so critical. And people think this is regulation. It's not, for God's sake. We as economies, we must now be able to quantify your contribution. The way we are quantifying private sector. And we request that this information system be created. We would like to know, for example, if I'm an NGO, a CSO operating in Busoga, where I have authority to talk. I have authority to talk about Busoga the way I want, but not any other area. We would like to know, what do you do in that place? What do you deliver in that place? Do the districts in Busoga know what you're doing? Do you know why? You will help us with duplication. You will help us with double accounting. Right now, I can tell you, because I do this M&E, some of the work you do can easily be accounted for by other resources that you have not put in place. Have you seen that? You have put up a classroom. The DEO in that district could simply say, this money came from the budget and did this classroom. That is exactly what we are looking for. Not to touch your money and use it ourselves. Have the money. Let us know how much is coming in. Let us know what it is doing. Let us know the results. Let us all contribute to one. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, just imagine if we all put together our resources towards one plan, would this country be able to achieve the tenfold growth? Yes or no? It would be far faster. Let me give you an example. Some of you who work in the health space, health, education, and gender, the off-budget resourcing, which we cannot even count, far exceeds the budget that comes from the central government. The off-budget, when I say off-budget, meaning the resources you have that you are using in that space far exceeds the resources that come from the budget that I control. But now let's ask ourselves, what is happening to maternal mortality? What is happening to neonatal mortality? What is happening to medicines? Imagine a time when we can all say that we are all heading towards dealing with maternal mortality. We put all our resources there, we get our targets well, we all move in the same direction. How far would this country go? So that's the reason I was very happy to come here to make this keynote address. For me, I cannot say more. The rest you read. My key message today is that regulation is a good thing. But in any economic system, over-regulation is a bad thing. Regulation is a good thing, but over-regulation is a bad thing. What we have to do together is to achieve an optimal regulation regime that helps us to achieve the goals and the standards of this country, but also helps you to thrive in whatever you do. I must now say that given the scarce resources, the dwindling resources, and also given that this country has a plan, I want to urge you to align to the plan. While you think that resourcing is the fundamental problem, for me, I think alignment is more of a fundamental problem than resourcing. Because the day we align with your better capacity to implement, trust me, government will gravitate towards working with you to implement on behalf of government. Trust me. I am not Prophet Mbonyi, but I am prophesying that if we organize ourselves and we align to the government programs, government will have no choice but to work with you because you have better implementation capacity. That is the truth. And I've seen it working for all. I worked for the African Development Bank. We see NGOs, CSOs, as implementers of first choice. They are closer to the people, they are emotional, they do things faster. The problem is now, how do we create that relationship where we understand each other, where we can constructively criticize each other, where we can now remember now, as part of our work, we are supposed to work with you to evaluate government. It's a requirement by the act signed by the President of the Republic of, so he knows. So I am calling upon all of you, and also using this chance to direct. My senior brother, these days I also direct. Using this chance to direct Rosette and to thank the German government for the work you're doing in helping us to create a framework that is going to bring all these CSOs together for us to start that very important mandate. Though late, we are starting it late in my 12th year. I know that I will leave the authority very soon, but better late than never. I want to take total responsibility for not activating that. But you also know the conditions were not that very good. We can now see in the leadership in the ministry, I have the right people to work with. Help us to work with you to create a better Uganda. We have a target to multiply this economy by 3 times in the next 5 years. That is a very dangerous target. It's not about improved livelihoods. But now it is, GDP must be 3 times, which should be $158 billion from 60. For that to happen, we need you. For that to happen, we must improve the way we work 3 times. In everything. If you're a bus driver, drive this properly. If you're a leader of an NGO and a CSO, ensure the results are delivered. If you're a teacher, teach the students. If you're a medical person, don't strike. Let our population be healthy. Let us work better. May God bless you. I have given you that paper. Kindly read it, because these 2 ladies took their time to write it. Can I introduce you? Madame Rosette, who is the manager for governance at NPA, and my lovely lady here, who is she's a doctor to be. They told you not to use those terms. One of the brightest ladies I've ever worked with in this world, Madame Evan. Thank you for preparing this paper, and thank you for making me look like I'm very bright when I'm not. Kindly read that paper, and if you have any reviews, every time we issue these papers, we also publish them. I thank you. My brother, I've not seen you in a long time. You're looking so nice. May God bless you.